Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this review. The fact that you are willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to consume my content really does mean the world to me. For those of you that are unaware, I review everything that gets released on Netflix. So if you're ever curious about a new movie, series, or show, if you want to know if it's any good or not, come to my channel and I will let you know. Today we're going to be talking about the most hated man on the internet. And it's a great true crime documentary, 3 episodes long that I just finished watching. If you've watched any of my other reviews about true crime shows, then you'll know that I find it very hard to sometimes watch true crime because it's not fiction, it's reality. It tells a story of, truly gruesome stories. And this story sucked. There's this guy called Hunter Moore who's just a terrible, crappy person. And ultimately he ran a revenge porn site where he actually just hacked a bunch of, not just girls, but men, but like people but they were basically minors all the way up to 70 years old, taking intimate photos of them and then just posting them online, but not just posting them online, linking it to their social media accounts, basically doxing them, putting up all of their public information. Like, if this guy got your photos, he exposed you, not just physically, but your entire life. He completely ruined your life. Hunter Moore was a man who strived to become infamous. He wanted to, get internet famous, whichever way necessary, and everyone else be damned. It was him. He was basically this man who wanted to become popular and ruin as many lives as possible, not showing any remorse, not caring for the ramifications of his actions, just wanting to become famous. And ultimately, we see how his actions impact the lives of everyday people. There were countless people on his websites that were just torn apart, their lives ruined. To this day, still not necessarily being able to recover from the effects of what happened. So ultimately, this guy has his website. It's called Is Anyone Up? Basically ruining a bunch of people's lives. And the main story that we focus on is a girl and her mother. And basically the mother stopped at nothing to make sure that Hunter Moore is taken down, his websites and everything are dropped. And I think that was the core element of the story that resonated the most with me, is how a parental figure will do anything to protect their child. And so even though I'm sitting here disgusted and feeling heartbroken about the fact that something like this happens, I'm reminded of the fact that when a parent truly loves their child, they will go to the end of the earth to ensure that they are protected and kept safe. In many ways, it just feels like the law protects cyberbullies and stuff like that online, because he was honestly ruining so many lives, and they were kind of like, but there's not really any laws against this. And eventually when he was arrested, spoiler alert, he was sent to prison for 30 months. That was ultimately his punishment, being in prison for less than 3 years. And moving beyond that, the only other punishments he received is that he wasn't allowed to have a social media presence. Like, he wasn't allowed to be on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Many people just choose to do that anyway. Like, social media isn't an essential. So sitting here realizing that this man ruined countless lives. People lost their jobs, they were fired. Relationships between mothers and sons and daughters were destroyed, eradicated. Relationships between partners were destroyed. People's mental health was destroyed. Trauma was created, lifelong trauma. People's entire perceptions and legacies were ruined. And this guy ultimately got exactly what he wanted. He got famous, he got notoriety. And at the end of the day, after 3 years, boom, he's out of prison, and all he has to deal with is the fact that he can't go into Instagram or Twitter. Breaks my stuffing heart. So there's really like 2 sides to this coin in regards to this documentary, is understanding that humanity sucks, but like humanity can also be the best in regards to supporting one another and just defending one another. From regards to a technical review of this actual documentary, I mean, it was hard-hitting. We had some great interviews, and what was so great about these interviews as well is that the people on screen knew how to really present themselves in front of a camera. We didn't have any presenters or any hosts that like really struggled to be on screen and really struggled to tell a engaging, despite disturbing story. The editing was fantastic, and the ability to take real-life footage and photos and present them in a tasteful way was engaging. I will say a few of the photos I was still like, I don't know if you necessarily should have shown that, because even though stuff has been censored, like you can see exactly what's happening. So if you are a little bit queasy, if you are someone that doesn't like to view that type of content, I would also say, okay, definitely be careful while watching this documentary series. But yeah, guys, if you enjoy true crime, definitely check this one out. It's made by the same guys that made Don't F With Cats, which is one of my wife's favorite true crime documentaries shows. So guys, seriously, thank you so much for watching this review. You guys are the best. You're awesome. Definitely check out The Most Hated Man on the Internet, because it was hectic. It was good hectic, bad hectic, all of the hectics. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you again in another review.